seen it, and we're the Gorgeous Geeks, and we're so super psyched, excited because we watched the season finale of Lost last night, and it was so amazing. And so it's just there's so many people who are absolutely confused, and because of their confusion, they didn't understand the finale, therefore they didn't like the finale.
So we're gonna pick apart the finale in different video clips.
And so, first of all, the Sideways universe.
I really don't understand why people are confused.
I don't either. But when the season started, you thought, at the end of season 5, they set off a hydrogen bomb in the past, and so everyone assumed that an alternate reality was created by the bomb that Juliet set off. And so, everybody's lives was different, but and some things you could accept, but it was weird when you got more into it, because it's like, okay, Benjamin Linus is there. How did he escape from the bomb going off? And
I could have sworn
Eloise,
I thought he got on the ship. I thought they took everybody on the ship.
They didn't show that. He was with the others. He's with the others.
I thought they took him back.
They never showed that.
Okay.
And then there's still Eloise and, other characters. Woodmore, And so it's like, well, how did those people make it safe? How come the island just being gone had this much of an impact on people? How come Jen was able to impregnate Sun when he was sterile? And how come Locke's girlfriend was still alive?
How come if the light was so important that it could not be snuffed out, and because it would be snuffed out everywhere in the world, what was the impact of the island being sunken on the bottom of the ocean floor?
And what was its relevance to the actual island present line where the actual story was happening? And so that's what was boggling my mind the entire season, trying to see how it connected, because I'm like, well, I want to know why Jacob, I want it to be worth it to see why Jacob had to affect all these people and apparently ruin their lives so much, because this Sideways is so much better. And I'm like, where's the Man in Black? Where's the smoke monster? Where's the evil that they were trying to keep out?
Right.
And so it turns out the Sideways universe is like an in-between the next world terminal.
Well, I know some people probably be more familiar with the term the white hot room, or the white room, where after you die you wait for your loved ones. Like, there's different mythologies, and like it's in some people's spiritual beliefs, and they believe that, and that's what the whole entire thing was. It was all their version, the cast version of like the white room, and some people believe that when you die there is no sense of time because time has stopped for you.
Mm-hmm.
So when everyone died, no matter what time it was, if someone died 5 or 50 years before one another or after one another, they all got to the same place at the same time. And
they decided to advance on together because they had such an impact on each other's lives.
Yes, they created this
and
world
so
together.
I heard people say, I love the finale up until the last 10 minutes. Everybody died. That's stupid. Like, did you not listen to a word Christian told Jack? He said, some people died, before. Some people are going to die long after. But, you're all meeting up because, you had an impact on each other. And so that's what it was. Not everybody died. Everyone on the island who got away on the island or was still on the island, that's the present.
Right.
And so, whether it was in season 1 they had these flashbacks, and in the other season they had a flash forward, and the island was always pretty much the present.
Right. And so, like, for example, when Boone and Shannon died, when Boone died in season 1, they all still met at the same time, even though Boone died in season 1 and Jack died in season 6. They all got to the same place at the same time. They were all together because they all wanted to move on together, to be with each other, And also, some people were like, well, where was Michael? Well, Michael answered that question last night on Jimmy Kimmel after Lost aired. He said he believes Michael is still on the island, stuck on the island, whispering with each other.
Or even if he's not, they didn't show everybody from the cast because not everybody was ready to move on anyway.
Ben wasn't ready to move on.
He was like, there. He was just outside of the church. And why might you ask he wasn't ready to move on? Well, maybe because
he was still thinking about Alex.
Maybe he was still thinking about Alex, and then he maybe he didn't want to cross over with all those people he ultimately screwed over so many times, and he didn't get his resolution.
Or maybe he was afraid
with
of
John Locke until right before John entered the building.
Or maybe he was afraid of where he would end up going.
Oh.
In there. I mean, who else wasn't ready to move on? Clearly, Eloise wasn't ready because she knew from the beginning where they were and what that place was.
But she still wanted to be with her son,
right? And like she told Damon,
Damon and Steph and Salvatore. No. Desmond.
I'm sorry. Like she told Desmond, she's like, please don't take my son away. Or are you gonna take my son away? Like she just wanted to spend that time with her son, especially after she knew she killed him, which I couldn't believe she ended up doing. The variable was the craziest episode ever, and maybe not the craziest, but that was a crazy moment. But anyways, she didn't want to move on, and I don't think Faraday is ready to move on either, and he knows, but he's not ready.
I don't think he quite knows.
I think when he touched Charlotte, he knew.
Maybe.
You think if he knew, he'd be ready to move on and he finally got Charlotte? There's no way. He's staying there for a while, I bet.
So, people were like, how come Mr. Echo wasn't there? I mean, how come Walt wasn't there? Well, first of all, puberty took over Walt. And
completely.
I heard that they do explain what happened to Walt in the DVD of season 6, but Walt just grew tremendously, and they just couldn't really work around that. There's no way they could shrink him down. You just can't do that. And it'd be kind of bogue to replace the character. They haven't done that, and I wouldn't have liked if they would have done that. Did it really destroy your world so much? Not just Walt.
Right.
And why did Mr. Echo show up? Well, frankly, they offered the actor money, and he wanted 5 times as much. So
they were like,
they
no.
tried. They said they tried to get everybody to come back for it, and it either worked out or it didn't. They don't have these people in boxes, and they don't take them out to play on their chessboard whenever they want to.
I thought it was cool to see Ana Lucia, Michelle Rodriguez show up. But, and I liked how Hurley said, oh, you didn't tell me she was going to be here, and Desmond was like, she's not ready.
Yeah, some of them just aren't ready. So, some of the interesting things I want to analyze about the Flash Sideways is, first of all, Jack had a son in this Flash Sideways, and people were like, well, why did Jack have a son? Well, I say he had a son because he had so many daddy issues, and he was intimidated by his father, and then by having the son, he found out that the son was intimidated by him, and by him working out his differences with his son, I think it resolved many of his issues with his own father.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in the case of Sawyer, how come he was a cop? I think because he spent so much of his life hunting down the guy who's responsible for his parents' murder, and he actually ended up becoming a con man, so he became the man that he was trying to hunt. With him being a cop, he could
hunt him.
He could hunt him without being that monster, basically.
Right. And with Kate, she was still running, but she was innocent.
Yeah.
She was, she was innocent, but she still had that running aspect to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sun and Jen, they still couldn't be together.
Well, their relationship was messed up until even on the island in season 1, they kind of resolved it when he was going to go away, and they kind of made up, but she was still hiding the fact that she had committed adultery and stuff. And so once she was pregnant and they confirmed that it was his baby, it really
that's what brought them together.
Really brought them together.
And I believe that was the reason why they remembered at that moment, because it was the baby that brought them together on the island. And so in the Sideways, I believe that's the reason why they remembered then.
And I think Kate remembered when Claire was giving birth to Aaron, because she was such a selfish person on the island. You can love her or whatever, but that's just the truth. How she bounced between Jack and Sawyer, all the time, and always running, got her boyfriend killed that she supposedly loved as a child, and even though he had a wife, and she just always had to run and do things for herself. But when she took on that role of a mother for Aaron, she took him, subconsciously for selfish reasons, because she felt like she needed him. But she left the island to go get Claire to reunite him with his true mother, and that was the most selfless thing that she has ever done.
Yeah.